It gets me fired up. Like, you have been the one that started that path of growth. You're the one that inspired me to put my back against the wall. And yes, try to take you through all the sacrifice and risk with me. But like you, I don't know. It's just, that was always within me, but you were that freaking key that really just opened up the door to who I was supposed to be. And so, thank you.
That was so good. Thank you for that.
Well, you're welcome. But yeah, I love you, babe.
Love you.
My old creaky chair. I love this chair.
I'm glad you like it. This one is a little more comfy.
I'm saying.
Sorry, that one.
No, this is like, I love this freaking chair. It's like,
We could
it's
probably
old. It's like someone died in it, you know? It's like got that history. They might have. It's pretty old and creaky. It's a good chance. Yeah. Ready to roll?
Yeah.
What is up, everybody? This is Joe Adams, and welcome to the Relentless Pursuit Podcast. What we do on this podcast is bring in guests from all different backgrounds, all different walks of life to share their journey and everything along the way that led them to where they're at today. We're here to make an impact, and that is what we do. So if that is for you, like, subscribe, all those amazing things. And if that is not for you, I don't know what your problem is, but it's time to jump on board today. Thank you. But I know I get intense. Without further ado, I would love to introduce my favorite person in the world, the one and only, the beautiful, the amazing Lydia Adams.
Hi, good to be back.
So for those of you that didn't catch on, this is my wife. Good to be back, babe. Good to have you back. It's on a nice Saturday.
I know.
This is episode 151. And last time we recorded was...
Ooh, it was 100.
Huh? Yeah, 51 weeks ago.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's been a year.
Yeah, almost a year.
That's wild.
Isn't it crazy when you think of it in that way? A year.
Yeah.
Since we last were in the studio, because 55 weeks is a year, just about 55 and a half. I did the math because with my burpees.
I thought it was 52 weeks in a year.
Is it?
I think.
I don't know.
I think that's, I don't know.
Siri. Oh,
I think it's 52 weeks in a year.
she's not listening. Well, either way, yeah, about a year, which is a lot of change.
Wild.
Wow, a lot of
Yeah.
changes. Yeah. So, and she just finished a race, 8 miles.
Yes.
She's a runner. She's a track star.
Oh, I'm trying to be. It
No.
was hot. It was like, what, 85?
I thought it was hotter than that. It felt like hell.
No, I think no.
Super
It definitely
humid.
felt that way, but God, yeah.
I didn't feel good.
No.
But it's awesome. My sister has been doing some races and invited you to join her, and now it's becoming a thing, and you're running and
Yeah.
building up, and you got bigger goals with it.
Yeah.
What's next?
Half.
Half.
November.
Yeah.
It's cool because, your mom does it with us sometimes. Today, your dad ran it. So it's just kind of like a little Adams family thing.
I know. And then I'm chilling. I'm doing my thing.
Now you got all the kids.
Yeah, I got the kids. If you don't know my full story, I broke my legs pretty bad, and I got a severed hamstring and stuff. So running just mechanically is pretty tough for me. I run a mile, my back is screaming, so I need some fixes soon before I pursue that. But I do, burpee a lot. Nobody joins me on that though.
You can have that one.
Yeah, I'll take it. It's mine. But no, it's really cool to see, being your husband, like watching you do that with my sister and my family, like, and progress in it. It's really cool.
It is really cool. It's a whole different kind of bonding experience that, you don't get not doing something that, because you're pushing yourself. It's hard. It sucks. And
Yeah.
the end's rewarding, but doesn't make it suck less.
Yeah. But you get there and you're done. You feel accomplished and you set higher goals.
Yeah.
It's like we were talking about on the way here. I was like, it's a lot like life. Same thing with like building a business. You keep going. It freaking sucks. in its own way hot as hell. You're dying. You're just like, oh my God.
I
But
know.
then you get there and then you're not done. The finish line isn't the end. It's just
No.
the restart for the next goal or the next race. That's what it's all about. So I find it very applicable.
Yeah.
So I'm proud of you, babe.
Thanks.
Yeah. I love watching you do things, and I love supporting you because, again, on that, like, you supported me through a lot.
Yeah.
You still do. So it's a no-brainer to support you in whatever endeavor because, you know, it has to be mutual. We have to invest that same amount of support in each other in our own ways.
Yeah.
So let's dive into this. Guys, we got a series of questions we're going to ask each other related to the journey. We're going to do like a back and forth thing, you know, and it's going to be different.
Yeah.
Because I've never done this before, but I've shared my wife's journey. We've talked about the journey up and, you know, at the 100 episode mark, just from our perspective, but we both came up with some questions to ask one another, and it'll be interesting. Yeah, I'm excited, but it's also important to kind of share. It's very important to share this journey with my wife, being the one that's right beside me the whole way and has just been a part of it all because, you know, we're married. We have a beautiful daughter together she's over 2 years old. I don't know, pushing 2.5 now.
Yeah.
And so there's just everything's tied in. So I think it's important to share that perspective from each of us, you know, through it all.
Yeah.
Because episode 200, episode 300, like I think you're going to be my every 100, honey.
Let's do it.
All right. Well, ladies first.
Okay. How do you think becoming a parent has changed our relationship?
There's two sides to it. I think on one side, it's most definitely strengthened our relationship in a certain way. You know, we bonded in parenthood, bonded raising her and loving her. And I've gotten to see you mother, and that's just made me fall more in love with you. God, it's going to be hard not to get emotional during this episode. You know me. If anybody wants to, just so y'all know, like I'm the emotional one.
Yeah. If I don't cry, it's not because I don't care. I just am not.
Just like I just cry. Like I watch a Disney movie and I'm like, oh my God, they're so touching. Anyways, but yeah, I've gotten to see that. And so like I've fallen more and more in love with you in parenthood. But on the other side, it's definitely taking a sacrifice of our time together, which is, you know, to be expected.
Right.
But, you know, we've had to have tough conversations on how we need to prioritize that because in the midst of parenthood and, you know, the business and everything, like it can pull that time away a lot more than you realize.
Balance is hard.
Yeah.
That.
And it's tough because you like, you know, we try to have a conversation and with her present, we can't get more than 30 seconds of like what we were saying without like, you know, something, but which is fine. Like, again,
Part of it.
she's 2 years old. Like that's what's going to be like. But yeah, I think it's, what it's done is strengthen our relationship in a lot of beautiful ways. And, like I said, made me fall in love with you more, given our marriage more purpose because she's directly involved by it. But also made us realize like, hey, you know, we need to definitely prioritize time together more, you know, we talk about it.
Yeah.
So I think it's also highlighted like how easy it is to drift away from one another if you're not careful.
Well, it's hard to it's easy to fall into the cycle of like parent first, spouse second.
Yeah.
Because she is so small. She needs so much from both of us.
Yeah.
Right now in this stage. And I feel like it's a good like gut check to be like, one day she's not going to need us this much.
Yeah.
And then it's just going to be me and you.
Yeah. And you see what happens with a lot of people when they just focus on that.
Yeah.
20 years down the road, they're like, all right, peace. And we're not going to be that. That's never going to be an option. You know, but it happens often.
Yeah.
You know, because they forget about each other in the midst of it. And it's easy to do, man. You know, especially when you're not like, I don't work a regular hours.
Yeah.
you know?
Well, you're busy, I'm busy. She's, in the mix, and then we're both working, and then our weekends are busy. I mean, it's hard.
Yeah, it is. I mean, do you have anything you want to say on that?
I do think it's strengthened us. I also think it's challenged us,
Yeah.
as a couple, but also individually, because it's brought up different things that we have to like dive into
Yeah.
in the hard conversations. And, I have to tell you how I feel. I can't just shut down. You have to tell me how you're feeling. And it's just a whole extra layer of communication that I honestly didn't expect or really think that was going to happen.
Yeah.
Because when she's a baby, it's easy to, do all these other things. But when she's talking and walking and getting into things and climbing things and jumping off things and all this stuff, and once your attention 24/7, it's hard to be like, oh no, I need to give my husband some attention.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think the feelings that we got to communicate to one another are valid on both ends.
Right.
We may not necessarily, especially initially, agree with it.
Which we usually don't.
Yeah. But that's also like, that's not the point.
Yeah.
It's the point that we're understanding of one another and we still feel those are valid. Like, we're not the same human being. So we're going to think differently and feel differently about shit. That's okay. That's pretty much the same across the board with everyone. We're all individuals. So I can't just up and agree with you about everything just like you won't from me. And I feel like a lot of people chalk it up and be like, oh, we just don't agree, whatever. Yeah. And they just kind of move on. But we do, even if it takes some time on certain parts, we do constantly communicate on it until we come to a deeper understanding and can come together on it.
Yeah. Well, because you're not the same person not being a dad. You've evolved into a dad and like these different roles. I've evolved being a mother and a wife and, having a family. So our needs are different now.
Yeah.
Like what I need as a mom is to put myself first sometimes and make sure I'm prioritizing me. Same with you.
Yeah.
And so I think our roles have evolved, which has led to the conversations, which, all good, all the outcomes are great. It's just, some bumps in the process.
Yeah, as it should be.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're just going to get better at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's that communication, man.
Yeah.
I think we do really well with it. Sometimes it's just hard, And
sometimes we take the space and, if I don't want to, I'll shut down. And I know I shut down for a few days until I'm ready to talk about it. But that's just what I need.
Yeah.
And then, when we're ready, we talk about it and we have the conversation. It might not be pretty, but we have the conversation, we come to a resolution and we move forward.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, that's a good question, babe. It's a good question. All right. To start, on this journey, what has been the hardest part of supporting me in my pursuit?
Oh. Nothing's been hard supporting you. It's so easy to do that. I don't think supporting you is hard in general. And I don't think supporting your goals and like your vision is hard. None of that's hard. And I have expressed that numerous times. I don't see end up what you see, but I see the end of the road. Like I see what it's going to evolve into. Yeah. And I don't doubt that. I think the hardest part for me is seeing the struggle along the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
And seeing you struggle, with friendships and different people and letdown after letdown after letdown. And so that's probably the hardest part because I'm just like, man, he works so hard for us every day, all day. When is it time for him to just like get that break and breathe? Yeah. Because in turn it that takes a toll into our marriage and into our home because you're stressed and you're upset and like your feelings are heightened and your emotions are heightened and you feel how you feel, and again, all valid.
Yeah.
But it's just like, man, when does he get a break?
Well, it's like even on vacation, I get, it's like some news at
Yeah.
the very beginning. I'm just like, fuck, man.
Yeah.
And then at the end of it, I get a message and I'm just like, what? I'm just trying to be here. I'm still getting work done, but it's like, it's like when can I go on vacation and actually breathe throughout the whole thing?
Yeah.
And I feel like with entrepreneurship, there's, no matter how many vacations you take, I mean, as things grow, there's always going to be something I have to respond to.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not like the same kind of situations, but regardless, that's just kind of part of it. Yeah. And that's interesting you say that. Like you have to like be in the struggle and then also see me go through it.
Yeah.
And then in my perspective, I'm like, I'm in it like on the front lines and I'm just like weaving and I'm like, it sucks. But at the same time, I'm like, my understanding, because the vision is a little different. Like I can't expect anybody to see what I see, not even you.
Yeah.
I just have to get you close to it. So you're with me along the way, but I'm in it and I'm just like, okay, this is part of it. This is part of it. This is what I just tell myself, I'm like, got to adjust, got to move, even when I got to like, be like, shit, and
but we do, I think we flow very well with adjusting and doing what we need to do. But as like a whole, supporting you and your dream and your vision, that's so easy to do.
Yeah. Well, just like when you want to take things on, like running or, I don't care if you want to get into crazy 100-mile races, like
Not doing that.
A couple of our friends, if y'all are watching this. I'm just saying I would be all on board with that. I'd be packing up and be like, let's do this shit, but, I think just supporting one another is easy, like I know what your goal is and we're not quite there yet, but also it takes my goal reaching a certain level for you to be at that.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm going to support you wholeheartedly. But that's in a way like me going as hard as I am is supporting that. It's just got to bring it to life. Like it all has to.
And I know like, I have felt at times like you're getting to pursue your dreams. When do I get to do mine?
Yeah.
Because mine have almost, it's hard to say on the back burner because I have in turn realized that stuff wasn't for me.
Yeah.
But that was like early on into, having Ozzy and doing all those other things.
Yeah.
To where it's like, okay, I can actually like realize that your dreams and all that being like, I will be able to pursue my dreams and what I want to do, which is just be at home, homestead, like raise Ozzy, if another kid, if we're lucky enough. But so I think in those times it was kind of hard to support, but overall,
I think it's quite cool how your dream has evolved. Initially you wanted to be this go-getter type, but you've embraced the most important job of all, and that's motherhood.
Yeah.
And like I love seeing you do it, and so now it's just like, oh God, there's that extra layer of pressure. I think it's an important pressure. It's a good pressure to have, but like, all right, now I need to make that freedom happen.
Yeah.
I need to make it happen. That's like so big to me.
You're going to.
Yeah, I know. And then you're going to be doing your thing. I love it. Cool, babe. Well, next up.
Okay. What's one thing about the struggle you feel like people don't understand and still don't understand?
Oh, God. I have to think about that one for a minute.
Do you want me to ask something else?
No. There's something I'm trying to just figure out how to word it. I think something that's relevant. There's a couple things. Just based off stuff people have said to me. I think one is just like the time aspect. Like people not understanding. It sounds like very almost arrogant to be like, I'm busy. Because a lot of people use I'm just really busy as an excuse. It's like work, having a lot more freedom and being like, well, I'm too busy to go to the gym. I think there's no excuse to not exercise because I can go and crank a bunch of burpees out or something if you want to in a short time frame and get great exercise. Right. So I hate it because it's like, I wear every hat right now. So it's like, it's not that just that I'm busy, but I'm busy like from the time I wake up to the time I go to bed.
Yeah.
The mind's always on it, right? And it's
I
hard to
know.
separate that. And I think that's one thing people don't realize. Like they'll think you're not making time for them, or you're not prioritizing them, and like it's hard to just be like, listen, like just understand it. Like my priority is my family and my business. That's all I have the bandwidth for right now. And people take it personal. They just don't understand that. And it's hard to just communicate that. It's something that like, it's hard for me to answer because I don't know how to communicate it. And I think people in my shoes, because they're all, there's a bunch of them out there that like would be like, dude, I fucking get it. And so, but because of that, it becomes you kind of subconsciously separate yourself from people because you don't feel like you can give them what they want. And me personally, I feel bad for that. So I just almost in a way like isolate myself from a lot of people. So that becomes a lonely thing too. But when you realize like how rare it is to have such a beautiful dream, and like it just takes everything.
Yeah.
So there's like a price to pay. There's a price to pay with all of it.
Yeah.
It's not easy. And, but that drive, you got it, and, if anything, I guess, there are people that do get it and they respect it and they're there, and those people become, as the other ones fall away, those people you're able to focus on them a lot more. And, if anything, it strengthens those relationships, and like you've seen it, I've got friends I can go a year and a half without seeing, and you see how close we are when we are together.
Yeah.
And that's a beautiful thing, and they don't demand anything from me but time every once in a while, and like a year and a half spaces. And so yeah, it's something that you see front row, so you understand, but it's something a lot of people don't. And so it is what it is. And then this people will say you changed, and they'll show their true colors. And the truth is you do change.
Yeah.
And you do become like this common denominator, this person that just like is losing all these people. And this is just relevant to me because those things cut deep at first. But people are going to paint a certain picture of you, whether you're growing in any aspect, whether it's be with your business or as an individual. Like if you're growing, they'll show those colors and they'll say you've changed. But it's never really on the other side. Like if I'm growing into a certain person or whatever it is, I'm not sitting there going to them like, you've changed. No, I've changed because you're in the same spot.
Yeah.
And so, and that's not on me. And so that's just a couple of those things. Like, yeah, you're going to change, you're going to grow in all these ways. But anyways, yeah, so that's, I think that answered it all right.
Yeah. And I don't, obviously I live with you, but people don't see you up at 4 a.m., out the door by 4:30, working till 5, coming home. Sometimes you don't get a lift in. You don't even get to do burpees sometimes. And then you're just like straight dad mode.
Yeah.
Straight bath time, bedtime, let's read some books, like all of those things. And then after that, I usually go to bed, and then you're up editing till midnight.
Yeah.
All just to do it all again. Like, no, people don't see that. And I don't think they understand everything that you actually do.
Yeah. It's every meeting, every phone call, every post, every this, every that, dad mode, taking care of myself.
Or, you being in here, you have to come in for a couple of hours on Saturday and Sunday. Like, you sacrifice a lot to do, what you're doing. And yeah,
they'll be like, oh, you're only sleeping 5 hours a night? That's not good for you. And I'm like, no shit. I know that.
I'm exhausted.
Trust me. But I know it's bad. I don't want to not sleep just 5 hours every night for the rest of my life. But it takes that front end consistency, and it is part of it.
Yeah.
And I embrace it fully too.
There's so much on the back end that you do that people don't see. And I'm just like, if y'all would just stop being assholes and just try to put yourself in his shoes.
Yeah.
you maybe might get it.
Yeah, well, because it's not like I'm not expressing my problems aren't theirs at the end of the day. So
Right.
like, I'm not going to express everything. And it's like, if you only knew,
Yeah.
it is what it is. But they don't ask. So there's that. But good question, babe. Okay, looking at me now versus a few years ago, what do you see that's changed most?
Oh my gosh. You have 180 your like internal growth.
Yeah.
Like your personal growth, that's been like the biggest thing.
That's cool. That's cool. You recognize that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Hell yeah. No, I appreciate you recognizing that, because that's, to me, like, if I was to say, like, that's been my biggest change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just, you've struggled with anxiety and all this stuff, and then just diving into that and working through that internally and figuring out, all these different things, like that's I don't think you would be here if you didn't start there.
Yeah. 100%.
So
had to go through freaking ringer.
Yeah.
But we've talked about it a lot. Like, all this has been necessary for me as an individual to take this where it needs to go.
Yeah.
So yeah, I appreciate that, babe.
Okay. What has this journey revealed about you that you didn't want to face?
I hate using this term to classify myself, but that, like, I've victimized myself, and not in the way of like, oh, poor pity me, but like, there's a lot of things have fallen through. A lot of people have screwed me, and those are all truths. And there's a lot of things that have been out of my hand.
Right.
And so I wonder, I've had to be like, well, this business isn't where I want to be because of that. But like, at the end of the day, until, the past several months of like the biggest shift in the personal growth, I've had to take ownership. Well, yeah, those things fell through, but what opportunities did you not tackle because of your internal stuff?
Yeah.
Because it goes back to the lack of self-value and the rejection, all that stuff. Like, there's a lot of opportunities I probably could have taken, but I was in my head and I didn't ultimately believe in myself. And I believe in myself. Like, I didn't ultimately believe in that to the max. So it was easy to point the finger. Yeah. And, Rick said it to me one time. We talked about, a situation like end of last year, and I was just like, this person just doesn't do this, and like, now it's all me taking care of this thing. And he's like, you're victimizing yourself for having the discipline to keep doing it, when in reality you should be proud of the fact that you had the discipline to keep doing this shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, like, it's easy to victimize yourself. Like, I could sit there and be like, I'm not victimizing myself. Like, I've got the discipline. What do you mean by that? And at first I took it wrong. Rick's like, no, Joe. And so, yeah, I think that's subconsciously I played the victim card, even though I've stayed consistent. I'm not, just not working. I've allowed a lot of situations around me to be the reason I'm not where I'm at. But at the end of the day, like, I'm ultimately in control of that.
Right.
So that's been a tough reality to face, but that's ownership. That's accountability. So yeah. I'm also grateful to be able to do that, and it helps me moving forward.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's that one. Let's see. You kind of answered this, but I think it'd be worth asking because, could you say you ever resent, the time and energy I pour into this? And have you ever wished I'd chosen a more stable path?
Okay, I'm going to answer the second question first. No, because if you had, you would not be you. You were meant to do this. If you were in a 9-to-5 or a regular corporate job, you would be miserable, which again would bleed into our home.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be fulfilling like your true full purpose. And I just I know that wholeheartedly.
Mm.
And what was the first question?
Um, well, that was the resent on time and energy.
Oh, okay. No, I don't resent it, and I don't resent you for it. I think there's been certain times where because it's just your personality, you have an addictive personality, you get so honed in and addicted to certain things that sometimes it's felt like you've lost sight of like your family.
Yeah.
Um,
Like Helene.
yes, yes. And it's, I love that that's your heart and that's like what also drives you. But there comes a point when I have to say, hey, we're right here and I need you to be right here.
Yeah.
So, there's never been like a resentment thing for that. It's conversations of like, hey, maybe prioritize us a little more, but it's just a conversation that we have.
Yeah.
So I think I feel like more sad just because I enjoy spending time with you and like I miss you versus me ever resenting you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, and at first I'm like, when you say it, I don't realize it. It's like a reality check. And I'm like, oh, what are you talking about? Like, I'm helping people or I'm doing this. And, because I do take it personally because I don't want to feel that. I don't want my family to feel like I'm not there enough.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, fuck. Like, I'm just trying to do the right thing, But I do get like super fucking obsessed with certain things, especially when it comes to doing things for others and whatnot. But when you check me on it, like initially I'm like, what the hell? That's more of me just
always your reaction.
Yeah, it's more of an internal battle though, because I just feel bad because I didn't realize it.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, oh yeah, you know what? She's right. I shift things.
Well, even then it's, I see you are pouring from an empty cup. You have nothing left to give, but you're still going.
Yeah.
And I'm like, at some point you have to just like think about you and pour into you a little more so you can continue to pour into others. But part of pouring into you is family time.
Yeah. Well, thank you for not like resenting me. And, I think what a lot of it says about you though is just like your love for me and your understanding of me.
Yeah.
Like I'm never trying to like get away from my family. My priorities are. It's just easy to get caught up in the chaos for me.
Well, and I know your heart. I know your intentions.
Yeah.
I know all of, I know the why behind it.
Yeah.
It's just sometimes I'm like, hey, stay home.
Yeah. Hey, and and I love being home. I love hanging out with my girls. So.
Did that answer?
Yeah. Okay. Great answer. Go for it.
Okay. How do you recharge when everything feels chaotic? Do you do it?
That's why it's hard for this. So I have to take a deep breath. I think that's what I love about just like one-on-one time, like just time with you and Ozzy.
Yeah.
Like, God, I just love when there's like a Saturday that's just like terrible weather. And we just get to like eat and like fucking
rot on the couch and watch movies
I'm
and
like,
play.
Man, that's definitely a recharge. Oftentimes I'll be like, oh, I used to be bad about, well, I'm not getting nothing done now, but I've been good at just like kind of like letting go.
Chilling out.
Yeah, so honestly, doing anything with y'all, if I get the opportunity, is always a good recharge. And I'm always, even if there's like plans and I'm like, oh, I don't want plans, like we always end up having a good time and I'm glad for it. Moot weekends, they're few and far between, but you know how much I get from that. If I got to drive 8 hours, it's still like a journey. It still doesn't like slow me down, but then you see what that spiritual side, that spiritual charge of my brothers does for me. And, anytime I can get away to the waterfalls, take a little microdose or something, go hang out at the waterfall for a bit, even a couple hours, that does a lot. And, just stuff. I don't know. I'm so fortunate that like, even though I'm so fortunate that what I do every day is like purposeful.
Yeah.
So that in a way, like doesn't fully drain me, but sometimes the chaos, it just can be overwhelming. So yeah, just those different things, practicing some cello and, if I'm really needed, I'm just going to like burpee to death.
Do you think you do it enough?
Hell no, I don't. Because I know like my family's dependent on me. You know, my family's dependent on me to get to a certain place. And I've taken a lot of risk. So I know just like I don't enough. But again, it's that, to me, it's like that. You got to sacrifice a lot for a while to open up the door to have that kind of freedom to recharge. But I'm learning how to do it a little bit better, I think. I hope. I don't know. It'd be interesting to hear your thoughts on that.
I don't want you losing yourself in all of this and not focusing on you.
Yeah.
Because we had the conversation where I felt like I was losing myself and just being a mom and being a wife, and I've lost Lydia and, you know, hanging out with friends or just going and getting dinner or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think you need to be 100% open and honest and be like, hey, I need more like me time. Whether it is Saturday morning, you get up and you go to the falls,
Yeah.
or Sunday or whatever it is. And then you can jump into work for a few hours and then still have family time. Like,
Mm-hmm. So to that, I will say, since I moved spaces, and eliminated, you know, that energy and stuff, I think right now in this period, even though it's a little chaotic in certain ways, but like at the end of the day, like with the purpose and everything, with everything being so clear, it doesn't really drain me like it used to. Like I've got a hour commute one way as opposed to a 2-minute commute one day, and I'm like in such a better mood. Does that make sense?
yeah, but sometimes I can still see like the overwhelmness, and I can see your wheels spinning. I can see the exhaustion.
Yeah,
And
it's
I'm
true.
I do need you to take more time for you, because if I get to do it, it's not fair for you to not.
You're right. Well, you just gotta be able to do fucking go do something like by yourself or whatever. And I'll be like, yes, ma'am. That's just gonna take, you know, again, I get so honed in.
Yeah.
It's easy to lose track of like that. So
Yeah.
I just need to be straight up. Like you communicate with me, like, yeah, just tell me like, Joe, go do something.
Okay.
All right. All right. So thanks, babe. Thanks for your feedback on that too. It's definitely, that's a reality check as well. I mean, and not in a negative way. Like I'm very fortunate that you want me to do that.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I don't feel like, I'm sorry, but like a lot of women don't tell their men to go like do something for them to recharge, like in that kind of way. Like,
And
some guys I know don't feel like they're allowed to.
Yeah. And I don't think I've expressed it, but like, you know, things are progressing and things are getting busier, and it's just like I see it. I see it in your eyes. I know you're tired. I know you're overwhelmed. I know your brain never shuts off
I'm just so fucking fired up.
all the time. And so I do need you to take that time for yourself.
Yeah. Well, thanks, babe. I love you. I'll do it. I'll make myself do it. I've been waiting. I mean, I need to go do my little
oh yeah, you're like 2 years behind.
psilocybin trip out in the woods.
Or maybe just a year behind.
Yeah,
I can't keep up.
I need to do that ASAP. So like, but it's like way too hot right now. I'm gonna wait till it cools down. Fall time, 100%. I'm doing it.
Okay.
And we'll talk about it next time. Okay. What is something that I've never acknowledged that you've carried this whole time? Which may not, I don't know. We talk a lot, so I can ask a different question if that's not applicable.
I mean, I think you do a very good job at acknowledging all the weight that I carry. I mean, you'll never understand the weight and the stresses and everything that I carry as a mother, and, you know, working from home with a 2-year-old simultaneously. You won't understand that.
Yeah.
While, you know, keeping the house picked up and dinner cooked and all these things, just like I don't understand your stresses of providing and doing all of this and doing your job.
Yeah.
And being like the man of the house. And I think you do a very good job at, you know, always recognizing that. There's never been a time where I've felt that you're ungrateful for everything that I do.
Yeah, I always try to, show you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you tell me, I mean, you're always, saying thanks for cleaning the house. Like, it's always acknowledged. Anything that I do, it's never ignored. Like, it's always acknowledged, no matter what it is.
It's good. I'm glad. Yeah, I mean, hey, she usually goes to bed a little bit for me, but I tell you I'm grateful for you every single night, even when you're sleeping. I just kiss you on the cheek. I say, I'm grateful for you. I mean, that's I've done it every single day.
Yeah.
And, gratitude is obviously, one of my most important things, for sure. So, well, then I'll ask you another question because that was pretty easy to answer. These kind of go together. So, what's something you've had to heal or sacrifice that no one sees? And what has this journey made you realize about your own strength?
I feel like for sacrifice, again, it's hard to say that I'm, I kind of mentioned before, I felt like there's been times where I feel like you get to pursue your dream, but what about me?
Yeah.
And as far as a sacrifice, I don't feel like I'm sacrificing. I really don't feel like I'm sacrificing anything because we're a team.
Yeah.
And this is like a group effort, you and me. Like, we're in it for the long haul. We got, like, I think I tell you all the time, like, hey, when I've made my vows to you, for better or worse, rich or for poor, like, I meant all of that.
Yeah.
And so I don't really feel like in our relationship that I'm having to sacrifice because we always have everything that we need.
Nice. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, thank you. I'm glad for that. I mean,
do you feel like I have to sacrifice?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think it takes some sacrifice on your end, whether you see it that way or not, just to I think it takes a lot of sacrifice to believe in someone else's dream.
But see, I don't see it as a sacrifice.
Because there's so much uncertainty.
Right.
And there's not stability. I mean, you've seen it.
Yeah, ebbs and flows.
And it can be terrifying.
Yeah.
And that's not for the faint of heart. And proof is, like, a lot of women would not, and men too, depending on like who's the entrepreneurial spirit in the household, right? A lot of people just, I'd say, in a relationship would not they'd freak out. I mean, honestly, in the past few years, like, there's a lot of situations that would cause divorces or split ups.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say a lot, but a handful.
It would
right?
cause issues.
Yeah, it would cause some bigger issues that, like, some people couldn't get through. And I think that you've had to sacrifice, like, that security that you need. Because I think that as a man, like, you need security in a home.
I think
and
it's
there's been no security in that. Like, maybe even more like because we want to get land and all this stuff, and it's just like, it's coming, and you want that, and I think it's just a different kind of sacrifice, but you don't see it that way, which is a beautiful thing. So I think to a lot of people, though, that would be a massive sacrifice in a way. Maybe not.
And maybe it would be different had we not started this together. Like, you moved in the HQ right after we met. Like, I've been there the whole time. Yep. And, like, the evolution of Relentless Pursuit, I have been there for that. So maybe if I came in last year or shortly after that, I feel like maybe it would feel like I was sacrificing something, but I'm in it. I'm in the thick with you.
You're the shit, babe. Hell yeah. Well, and with that, though, what's that made you realize, I guess, since we met, like, what's it made you realize about your own strength? Because it's not just a business. I mean, you're a strong woman. I've recognized. I told you that. But there's just, yeah.
I feel like it's just an ever, like, I don't know. I feel like there's just a lot of understanding, and I can do hard things, and I can adapt and change, and I don't know. I feel like that's kind of hard for me to answer.
That's okay. Well,
Because I don't know. I know I love you unconditionally, and that comes with you've never put us in a position or in a place that we weren't taken care of.
yeah.
So, like, the stability is maybe not where we want it, but it's still there.
Yeah. At the end of the day, we got what we need.
Yeah.
Ultimately, we got our beautiful little family unit.
Yeah. And we're happy. Like,
Yeah.
she's so like Ozzy is so like happiest little girl ever. I don't know. I just think it's part of like unconditionally loving someone.
Yeah.
So I don't know. What would you say?
I mean, honestly, it is interesting. It's all been so natural
Yeah.
that it's never not had to be like this strength thing to recognize. It's
Yeah.
just like, I think at the end of the day, like comes back to, like you said, that unconditional love. Like that's truly what it takes.
Yeah.
Do
I love every decision you make? No, but you don't love every decision I make. But
I don't love every decision I've made. I think I'm making a lot better decisions.
Yes.
But
it's just part of it. Like it's just part of the journey.
Yeah. Yeah. Hell yeah, babe. Great answer.
What's one thing you wish people knew about being married to me? But I feel like you do a good job at this.
Yeah, I'm so vocal about us. I talk about you almost every episode. I praise you because there's always something that makes me reflect on that. So it's not like there's anything that like, oh, y'all need to know about this about her because you're just the best fucking woman there is. Like plain and simple. I mean, you're the most beautiful. That's obvious. And you're the most loving. You're a great mother. I mean, like all these points I've talked on about you, like I'm obsessed. And so like, hey, guys, if y'all want to know what I think of her, or what if y'all want to know about Lydia, just watch all my episodes. It just evolves, and I pretty much put it all out there.
Okay, I'll ask you something else.
Okay. Yeah, it's hard to say because I'm like,
you do a good job at, I guess, explaining me. I don't know.
bragging about you.
Yeah.
That's what I do. I just brag about you all the time.
Okay, what's one thing I do that makes you feel supported?
You believe in me. Simple. I mean, you've said it several times.
Yeah.
And that's all I need. That belief is the support I need. So.
Are you getting emotional?
Yeah. Because it's like, God, that's like all so many people need.
Yeah.
Is someone to believe in them.
Yeah.
And like, I don't think people understand how powerful belief is. But it's like, for example, you believe in God. You devote your whole life to it. And that's so easy for people to do. Yet they won't believe in the person they walk through life with.
It's like fully. The ultimate trust.
Yeah, like you'll put faith and belief in something, and I'm talking all across the board, that is just is faith based. But you have something tangible that's right here next to you or in front of you, in our case right now.
Yeah. That
you won't devote all that to. And it's just a mind-blowing thing. And but you give me that. And so like that gives me everything I need. Like, and that's why with you I know I'm going to accomplish all the things I set out to do. And it may take a minute to get there, and there may be some disappointments along the way, but there's so much growth happening in other ways because you allow me to do that, and you believe in that part of the growth that maybe not be in the area that we're hoping for, but you just believe in it all. So like, that's it. 100%.
That's good.
Oh, thanks, man. That just like, yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. Thanks. Well, thanks for believing in me, baby. And I believe in you. And it's mutual.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I love you.
I love you.
Sorry. Hard not to get teary-eyed. Anyways. So cute. Okay.
You just ask one.
How has loving me changed you?
I think just overall, like I have been the happiest, best version of myself since meeting you. Like
Hell yeah.
it's undeniable to people that know me and have known like my past and everything of how happy I am and how happy you make me.
Oh, babe. Thanks. That's so simple and beautiful.
Yeah.
I love it. Wow.
Did you ever know that?
No, you voiced that to me in different ways, but I think it's just such a perfect answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it means a lot.
Okay. Oh, there was one. What's something you need from me more often, but don't always know how to ask for it?
It's like you show me in a lot of ways, in so many ways, like your love and everything. I think for me, it's just like, it's simply put, is like the words of affirmation.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just need to hear like, and you show me those things through your actions, through the dinners you cook and the sourdough you make and all this stuff, through motherhood, like through everything. You really do show me, like there's never a doubt. But I have a lot of people in my corner that are encouraging, but which it's hearing it from you is the most important.
Yeah. And you are like, your love language is words of affirmation.
Yeah.
And I'm not good at that. And it's not because I don't try. I don't know. I just feel like I never really know what to say when it comes to that.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why I don't. I don't know. I feel like I've gotten better.
Yeah.
But I mean, I could still get better and be
Yeah.
better.
Yeah. I think it's just simply like, I fucking love you. I believe in you. And you've told me these things, and like, without a doubt, I know this. It's just, sometimes I'm in my head and I could hear it, I guess. So, maybe that's it. That's about it, but you crush it, babe. You're not selling, you're not shorting anything, but I'd say that's it.
Okay. Noted.
What about you?
I mean, mine's quality time, but
it's a gnat. This is one gnat that's been in this freaking office, man.
But we kind of like, we've talked about that. It's just, we're prioritizing that more now that we've like realized where it's gotten. But yeah, I think just the quality time. But again, we're already doing that.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
There's nothing that I need more of from you. I just want more time with you.
Yeah. Which is honestly to me, like the most precious thing you could ask of me.
Yeah.
Like you could be saying I've spent too much time with you. Like I'm not around. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, oh God, I want you away. I need a break. Yeah. Because oddly, I hear that in relationships. They're like, oh, I just need a break from, and I'm like, why would you say that about I don't know. That just doesn't click with me. I don't ever think I need a break from you.
No. Like the beach was the first time in a long time we spent that much time together.
Oh yeah.
We definitely got out on each other's nerves a little bit.
Well, yeah. Maybe a little bit.
Just because we don't spend that much time together, but
it's a highlight of how we need to like spend more time together. But we're like, parenting, and it's changed though. Like we got a 2-year-old at the beach now.
Yeah.
Like you can't just plop her in a chair and get her to pass out under an umbrella. No, it's not freaking happening.
And she's a FOMO kid, so she's not water lover and FOMO.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I got to go to the pool with her and let her jump into the pool into my arms
for 2 hours.
Yeah. I'm just like, she's just, that's, and so, yeah, I think it's just a different dynamic. But, yeah. Quality time. Yeah. I'm trying to, babe. Sorry, guys. Didn't mean for y'all to see such a, just play.
Oh, wait, it's your turn.
It is my turn.
Okay.
What's your hope for the next chapter? For us, for RP, for our family?
My hope is that everything that you're working for and towards comes to fruition, which,
yeah,
is doing that. It's slower than we both expected or would have wanted, but we've got to enjoy so much along the way that I don't know, I don't take anything that we've gone through for granted.
Yeah.
It doesn't take or negate the fact that times have been hard and it's been stressful and we've, butted heads, but it's still so good.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I'm grateful for what we have through it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think anybody you are who you are.
Yeah.
And we just go together so well that gets us through it.
Yeah.
The hard stuff. I think, so what you're saying is like just abundance, like that it creates the abundance that I like wanted to.
Yes.
For the more freedom for our family.
Yeah. And for the sole purpose of our family to, have a garden and homeschool Ozzy and, not have to work a 9 to 5 for me.
Yeah.
Just, I don't ask for much.
Yeah, I know. Well, and it's, and at the end of the day, like, shoot, enable the ability for your spouse to quit their job and like focus on those things is a lofty goal, And so for me, it's like, I don't need to be rich. I never look at it that way, but I want to create wealth and that financial abundance so that way we can get land and do the things that we plan on doing. And actually, like, I can hire people to wear a couple of the hats so that way I'm not wearing all of them at once.
Yeah.
And, there's a lot of things that come with it, and I agree. Same here.
Yeah.
I'm ready for that next piece.
I feel like we're pretty simple people, like some land and a trailer with you, like anywhere we're at and you are, it's home.
Yeah.
So like 4 walls, I don't care what it is. I don't have like a dream house. I just want some land with you and just live our life.
It reminds me of the conversation I was telling the guys at the Midsummer Ritual. And I was like, I was with so-and-so one time. We were on a back road, and there was just this massive mansion out in the middle of this field. And they were like, yeah, that house is like all you and Lydia. That has y'all all over it. And I'm like, what the hell do you think of us? Like, what in the world makes you think we need that? Like,
I'm literally the most simple person. Don't get me wrong. I like jewelry. Like, I like certain pricier things, but very simple.
Yeah.
Very easy.
You are. Yeah. Yeah, you are. Just, hey, babe, here's $20. Go to Goodwill. Have a good day.
Oh.
Because you love Goodwill. Shit, man. It's okay.
Look, don't knock it.
I'm not knocking it. You got some good stuff.
Relaxing.
I found some cute stuff. Oh, yeah. It's not bad. I mean.
That chair. You're welcome.
Chair. Yeah. Yeah. So thanks, babe. So, yeah, that's my question.
Okay. Good question. Have there been moments where you've doubted yourself as a husband or a father? And if there has, how have you worked through that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, on so many levels.
As a husband or a father or both?
Both.
Okay.
Time, time getting after it. Obviously financial abundance. Because I just want to give y'all everything.
Yeah.
I want to give y'all everything I can. And that includes like every bit of me, every bit of freedom, every bit of love, like everything. Like when I was traveling out to North Carolina so many weekends, like, when he told me like, and I was like, oh my God, like my daughter's just going to think I'm like not even there. I'm working, 12 hours 14 hours a day, Monday through Friday. And then I'm gone all weekend for like 5-6 weekends in a row. I'm like, oh my God, like when you told me that, and that's why I took it so hard at first.
I didn't tell you,
No, you're just communicating me. All you said was that like, hey, I want some time, or you need,
yeah,
y'all, we need you as well.
Yeah.
And so like in my head, though, I'm like spiral out of control. I'm like, oh my God, dude, I'm not giving them, I'm failing them, and I think I've taken things to extremes over the years.
Mm-hmm. But that's also just like part of your personality.
But also like there's been a lot of growth, like you said.
Yeah.
So I think before those moments were more common. If like I fell short or an opportunity fell through, I'm like screwing my family. I'm not, giving them enough. You know, I think that there was several moments like I thought, yeah, there's countless times I felt that
How do
on both ends.
like, how are you or have you worked through those? Like, what do you do when you're in those moments that you're like, okay, you kind of like bring yourself back and stop the spiral?
I just tell myself to keep going, you know, because I know I'm just like, Joe, you're good. Like, just keep freaking going.
Yeah.
So you can like, at the point it was so you can give them everything they deserve. But at the end of the day, like, what's most important is that I give y'all my love.
Yeah.
And I give y'all that wholeheartedly and unconditionally. And I think I've always done that. And so I realized that like, oh man, well, I haven't been failing them because like I told you recently, like I haven't failed y'all because I haven't quit
Yeah.
and I never will. So it's impossible to fail.
Yeah.
And two, that I pour into y'all like from my heart to a degree that is, you know, unmatched of, I'd say, but for anybody, you know, that's just me, something I got to tell myself. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I'm not saying, oh, I love my kids more than you, but I internally, I'm like, I love my little family more than anybody in the world loves theirs. And I'm not as a personal attack. It's just more of like a, you know, a mental thing. Like, yeah, Joe, like it just, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's very important to me that I give y'all that. So I think, and as I've grown over the past several months and all these big changes have happened with the business, like I'm also thinking through things a lot more clearly and tackling more opportunity, and more is happening. A lot of really cool shit
Yeah.
as a result of like getting out of that mindset and that growth, but also like I'm putting y'all at the forefront of everything, every decision going forward. And so I don't know. I think I've worked through that. I think in those moments, like it definitely was a spiral. Sometimes I'd be really hard on myself, and like sometimes for days
Yep.
I'd be like just going nuts because I never want to let y'all down. But the fact is I haven't, and I'm not going to.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm at with that. Was that a good answer?
Yeah.
Okay. It was like kind of all over the place, but it's really, I don't know, just a very personal and important question to me because I mean, it's been a tough reality to face.
Yeah.
Those moments that were hard, you know, but I think that's not really a thought now, you know?
Good.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So there's that. A lot of personal work, man. A lot of
Yeah.
working on past shit. I think, you know, a lot of the things that have carried with me, even from like childhood or whatever, like they're all resulted in how I react to certain things. And so like understanding the deeper layers of myself has helped me handle those thoughts a lot better.
Yeah.
Like that's not the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a good husband and a good father. Like I'd say I'm exceptional at it, and that's something I always can be proud of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've been a lot nicer to yourself.
Yeah.
Which, you know, kind of, yes, you will always be your own worst critic and you will always be so hard on yourself, but you can be hard on yourself and still be nice to yourself.
Yeah.
Because there were times where you would be hard on yourself, but you would talk to yourself so horrible. And I'm just like, be nice to yourself. Like, you're still doing it. Like, be nice.
Yeah. I think it's just showing myself grace for once.
Yeah.
It's something that was impossible for me to even understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. You always used to say it, and now like you don't tell me to show myself grace really, like because you don't have to.
No, because you are, like, you're doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, you know, you're a part of that. So thanks, babe.
What's one thing you're afraid to say out loud sometimes, but think about it often?
I feel like I'm pretty outspoken
Yeah.
about things. I don't really hold back with, you know, what's going on. I mean, sure, there's certain people that I would have liked to say certain things too, but that's not the same thing. That's just more of like a reaction and anger that you know, yeah, it's hard to say. What do you think?
don't feel like it's anything you've been afraid to say. I think you do say a lot that you don't feel good enough for X, Y, and Z, or for me, or you don't feel deserving of certain things.
Yeah.
I think that would be probably the only thing I could think about or think of.
Which is a common, I mean, I told you a conversation I had with a friend of mine. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's a common thing with men, especially driven men that like want to just level up constantly. Not only because that's internally what they have, but like for their family.
Yeah.
And it's easy to get lost in the like, it's not good enough or you're not good enough. It's easy to get lost in that, like, especially, you know, as you go forward. So I think maintaining a positive mindset and that gratitude and, you know, your understanding of success, like, I don't know, constantly having to remind yourself that you are doing good enough, that you are, you know, and I think it just takes a lot of that internal work, but I see that it's a common theme across the board for men in general. You know, I think I'm not going to speak for every man because I don't think a lot are actually out there doing what they need to do for their families. And that's just being honest. But then there's a lot that are. And I think that constant desire and drive to be the best you can for them, you know, you set the bar so high. And if like one day you don't achieve that, it's easy to get like lost in the not fucking doing good enough.
Yeah.
You don't deserve this. You know, it's easy to turn on yourself real quick, but you're putting everything else above you essentially in a way. So yeah, I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you?
Like, I feel like people might be annoyed with how much we're like, oh, we talk about everything, but
Yeah, I know. They're like, whatever.
we legitimately do talk about everything. Our biggest thing is communication. So I don't know. I feel like I'd say everything I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, babe.
That's probably my last question.
Okay. Man, I want to do this again.
Do you have new ones?
This is one for my ego, actually.
God.
What's your favorite trait of mine?
Your favorite trait?
Yeah.
Like physical feature?
I mean, you could. I might have to edit that out.
Joseph.
I mean, I'm saying, you know, there'll be people watching this. No.
Oh my God.
I wasn't thinking that. Just like an internal thing you see in me, maybe. I don't know. Just boost my ego a little bit, babe. That's all.
Okay, so I have like a few favorites. So the way you love, your drive, and I feel like you like fatherhood for you.
Oh yeah. Thanks, babe.
Yeah.
Those are like 3 things I'm very proud to be recognized for
Like,
by you.
obviously, I think you're the most attractive man too, but well,
no. It's starting to get a little hot in here. I'm just kidding. Oh, well, thanks, baby.
What about me?
I'd say like 2 of those are the same. The way you love and your mother, you being a mother.
Yeah.
Like I've fallen in love with you more and more every day. And then
you don't have to name 3.
I think your belief just like goes back to that. Like not only belief in me, but your belief in us, your belief in our family. I think just belief is such a powerful thing, you know?
Yeah.
And I think another part too is your strength. You're a strong freaking woman. Like you worked through so much stuff. And I don't think people realize because, you know, I'm the man of the household, you know, lead, but you've been my rock in so many situations. And to have a wife that like, while I do like want to like lead and do all these things, like why that's so important to me, but to be able to have a woman that I can lean into no matter what, that is going to like help me through it and not judge and not criticize. Like to me, that is like, it's because that strength you have. And like, that's what made you perfect for me from the beginning. Cause I talk about this a lot and I do want to highlight this is that, you know, I've talked about, you know, I've got Rick coaches me and mentors me, and Rick's been such a blessing, you know, thank God for Hannah and like the treatments she offers. And then a lot of the friends and the people and family, that stuff that's been in my life. And I'll say one of the biggest things that I can be grateful for is like the people that have turned their back on me or said maybe feel a certain way, because guess what, man? Those people are the biggest mirror. Like I wouldn't be where I'm at if it wasn't for them being this reflection of myself that I had to see. But it all started with you. Because in past relationships, I was never able to confront the things. It was like, be quiet, because that fucking mindset that men shouldn't express these things and talk about it. But, you got to like just tough it out. And I think a lot of women have that mindset too because of their examples. And so for you to open the door for me to feel shit and work through it, man, it's such a blessing. Because I didn't even know what anxiety was when I was having freaking anxiety attacks. And you're like, it's an anxiety attack. And I'm like, well, God, I'm spiraling out of control. But you're like, I'd be like, you know what? I'm going to fuck this relationship up. It's going to be like any other one. I'm going to mess it up. We're going to be, what's the use? It's too good to be true. And you're like, it's okay.
Feel it.
And like any other women in my life, like dating, like they would have been like, why you think what about, they take it personal, but in reality, it wasn't a personal thing. It was something I had to confront. And so you started that path. And so, yes, thank you. You're the shit.
That was so sweet.
Oh, man, it gets me fired up. Like you have been the one that started that path of growth. You're the one that inspired me to put my back against the wall. And yes, take you through all the sacrifice and risk with me. But like you, I don't know. It's just, that was always within me, but you were that freaking key that really just opened up the door to who I was supposed to be. And so thank you.
That was so good. Thank you for that.
Well, you're welcome. But yeah, I love you, babe.
I love you.
Anyways.
Are you getting emotional again?
I think you're like, I see some glisten in your eye. It's okay. Shed a tear or two. It doesn't happen too often, so I see it. I'm just kidding. No, but I'm glad you appreciate that, babe. But yeah, that just came to me like so full on.
That was good. That was sweet.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I mean it. But okay. Shit. All right. I want to tell you, what would we tell another couple going through a similar journey?
That was a question I was gonna. No. I think it's just a lot of like grace. If you like married couples, whatever, you are with that person.
Yeah.
Like you are a team. It's not one against the other. It's not, it's you're a team. Work as a team. Be a team.
Yep.
And understand there's gonna be some bumps. It's gonna ebb. It's gonna flow. It's not gonna always be pretty, but it can still be good.
Yeah. And talk about it.
Yeah.
Communicate. We will freaking put that. And don't talk about communication doesn't mean yelling at each other. Yes,
No.
if you have a disagreement and things get a little emotions rise, like that's fine, but like communicate, like talk through it. Even if it takes days or weeks, like make steps, make progress in that, but also be willing to like swallow your freaking pride and come to a deeper level of understanding of where they're coming from.
Have the hard conversations. You might like, there's been times you're just like, I don't want to say it. I'm like, no, say it. Tell me how you're feeling. Tell me your thoughts. Tell me what you are bottling up that I know you want to just scream. Tell it.
Yep.
Because we can't be our best. We can't move forward. We can't progress until you do that.
Facts. Oh yeah, babe. Well, we're at the end of this segment. Should I continue? Should I do a reset, or are we good?
I think we're good.
We're good?
Yeah.
All right.
What do you think?
No, I think this is beautiful.
Yeah.
I don't want to rush it.
That was a good ending.
Well, I love you, baby.
I love you.
Thank you for everything. Thank you for being a part of this journey. And I couldn't be more grateful. I'm going to give you a hug and a kiss. Till next time, guys. Thank y'all. That was such an awesome episode, and we're really grateful for the opportunity to put this out there. But anyways, yeah.